Joshua? Mr. Boyle? Do you have any words to say to your wife about all the allegations that happened?
Did you get any sense of his emotional reaction to today's judgment?
He was extremely pleased, relieved. This has been, a matter that's he spent time in custody. He walks around with an electronic bracelet. He's been under very strict bail conditions now for, as I say, almost 2 years, and this is an incredible relief to him. I can't imagine that the impact of this decision has even fully made its way through to him at this point. I know for us, we look at it as a very, very difficult trial, as I'm sure you're all aware, and with a wonderful end result. And the very first reaction, certainly of Josh and his family, was that they're extremely pleased. They're happy. They're determined now more than ever to pursue a path which will enable Josh to have access to his children. Well, as I said, this is the first step towards Josh's ultimate goal, which was to have access and custody of his children. Perhaps I don't need to point out the fact that he's never seen his fourth child, ever. And he hasn't seen his other 3 children in almost 2 years.
What do you know why those two will see this as not believing victims of sexual assault?
I don't think that has anything to do with victims of sexual assault. Caitlin Boyle presented herself for an extended period of time. She was cross-examined fairly. Her examination in chief done by the Crown was extensive, and she was well prepared for it. She was then cross-examined, and a judge made a very, very well-reasoned and extensive decision in which he not only didn't believe the complainant, Caitlin Coleman, but he didn't believe Mr. Boyle either. And it doesn't send any kind of a message, in my view, other than, when you come to court, tell the truth. And if you don't tell the truth, then you may not be believed.
Have you ever been?
That's what happened here.
Have you ever been part of a case where a judge says he believes neither the complainant nor the accused?
Want to do that? Take that one? Sure. All the time. WD.
Yes,
that's
all the
about.
time.
Maybe you can explain that.
It's a reality of the presumption of innocence. A very high level of proof is required before we strip somebody of their liberty, and it's very difficult when the judge wasn't there and none of us were there, and there were no eyewitnesses to know with any degree of certainty what happened. And you see, as we saw here, that sometimes the judge isn't sure who to believe. And he indicated, as much as he made certain adverse comments, he did say at the end of the day he couldn't entirely discount Mr. Boyle's evidence.